Hejsa. Today I'm having a little look at the hexagons I've been making for a quilt I'm working on. If you want to see what this quilt is all about, I'll link to the first video I made about it. So in this box are around 1500 hexagons, and I'm going to need about 2,500 hexagons for the size of quilt I want to make. But who knows, maybe I'm going to make it a bit bigger. So I got 1500 in here. And then I've got this bag where I have around 400. Because I'm keeping track of the hexagons when I make them. I put it in a spreadsheet, so I know that I have just over 1900 hexagons in total. So here we go. It's a big pile of hexagons. So what I think I'm going to do later today is sort all these ones by the prints. I'm not going to group them by print in the quilt. I'm going to use a sort of color wash design, so it'll be useful to have the colors split into groups. So by splitting the prints into their groups at the moment, that will make it easier to sort the colors when I get to that point. I'm still quite a way away from putting anything together, but at least I'm getting there. When I first shared a video about this project, I think in October last year, so in October 2023, I really thought that it was going to take me a whole year to make all the hexagons that I would need, but it's been going really well. I average about 300, maybe 330 per month, which is way more than I thought it would, so it's going great. When I was sorting the hexagons in the box, I realized, well, I kind of knew already, but I don't have many purples or violet hexagons. And I guess there's two reasons for that. One thing, it's not really a color that I sort of gravitate towards. I don't use it that much. And also all the fabrics that I'm using in this quilt is by a designer called Denyse Schmidt, who you may be familiar with. She designs quilts as well. And she also doesn't use a lot of purple in her fabric collections. So for those two reasons, I guess I've ended up with not having many purples. But I do have a few, and a friend of mine also very kindly sent me some fabric that does have some sort of purpley lilac in it, so that helps. I've also been looking through my Denyse Schmidt fabric stash to see what I had of any sort of purple, which is not a lot, but I did have this one here. And I think I have made some hexagons with this fabric, but I don't think there are a lot. So as you can see, I've been digging out some scraps and sewn together with other colors so that I could make hexagons that are two-colored, and I can use those as blenders, which I think will be quite helpful with this quilt that I'm making. And I've not just done it with purple, although these ones are with the purple colors. The funny thing is that this one I actually quite like it, so I'm surprised that I didn't buy more of it. I guess the lesson is that you should remember to have stuff in your stash that maybe isn't your favorite color. So here are some of the scraps that I've sewn together. It was actually quite fun to try and pair them up, and also using fabrics that I haven't got a lot of. I also haven't got loads of red fabrics, but I do have a few, so I've been finding those scraps as well. So it's a little bit awkward when you're making these. As you can see, for this one, for example, the points of the hexagon go almost in the seam. But I guess it's just what it is. Some of them I've sewn them together this way, and that's a little better because the seam falls along the side of the hexagon. But it's fine, I've been able to sew them together okay. When I sewed them together, I used a very small stitch length to make sure that it wouldn't unravel. I don't know if you can see that, but if I pull at it, it doesn't start to unravel it. So I have a stack of these blenders still to sew, and I also have a similar size stack of just a single fabric hexagon still to make, and I'm not sure how many this is going to add up to. Maybe 2,200, maybe a little less. And then once I have made these, I'm going to take a little break, mainly because I'm waiting to get some new to me Denyse Schmidt fabrics from a friend who lives in Denmark. But because postage is so expensive, the fabric is at my parents' house. They live in Denmark, and when I see them this summer, they will have the fabric for me, and then I can add some new prints to this, and hopefully some that will help to blend the colors that I already have. So once these are stitched, then I'll be having a little break, which will be kind of weird because I've had this sort of routine usually in the evenings where I sit and watch something while I stitch a handful or two of hexagons before I go to bed. So it's been a really nice project to work on, a nice way to unwind at the end of the day. And since I won't be starting to sew the hexagons together until I have made all, or at least almost all of the hexagons that I need, then I don't know what I'll be doing then. Maybe I'll start another hexagon project. Don't know what that would be, but at least now I know that it actually adds up pretty quickly if you just work on it every day. There's very few days where I've skipped. Even when I was in Denmark in January for a few days, I brought enough so that I could make a handful every day. It's felt very important to, unless absolutely necessary, to not break the chain in working on this, which I haven't. Well, I guess I have, because I have skipped a handful of days over the past, how many months? 5 months. So that's still pretty good. So for now I need to sort through all these hexagons, and then I'm going to finish making all these slowly. I'm not rushing. Sometimes I only make 1 or 2 hexagons a day, and that's fine. There's been a couple of days where I made something like 25, which maybe was a bit too much, but never mind. So I'll check in once I have started making some more progress on this. So I hope you have a great day, whatever you're making, and happy stitching.